Fighters of Reddit, what is a useful tip you can offer someone who finds themselves in a fist fight? If he pulls a blade, you fucking run. You will get cut. If you're in front of a bunch of neutral witnesses, like at a bar, start yelling immediately, "What the fuck, man? Get away from me. I don't want to fight. Get this guy away from me." This serves two purposes. 1. If there is someone around who wants to keep the peace, like a bouncer, they'll come in on your side. 2. If you do end up fighting, people will remember you were the one shouting about not wanting to fight and tell the police, which will help keep you out of jail. This is especially important if you somehow manage to put the guy down hard and seriously hurt him in the process. Edit. To all the people claiming this is a pussy thing to do, winning a fight don't mean shit if you're the one who goes to jail. You can kick all the ass in the world, but if you're sitting in a cell when it's over, you lost. There's nothing unmanly about tickling. Strip naked. Nobody wants to fight the naked guy. This is surprisingly good advice. I know I wouldn't want to fight you if you stripped. Ex-bouncer. 10+ years of various martial arts training. If you're inexperienced or outsourced, if you have anything at all in your hands, even an empty cup, throw it at them as if you were tossing someone their car keys. Don't throw it to injure. Lob it at them. They will instinctively try to catch it. Use that moment to strike. In the nose. Hard as you can. Or face in general. Punch through their head. Don't aim to land it on their cheek. Aim as if you wanted to punch something behind their head. Whatever you do, don't stop. Fight dirty. Rules are for sporting competition. In survival, use anything at your disposal. Dirt, car keys, etc. But be careful introducing weapons into the equation. You always have to worry about losing it and having it come back your way. Unless it's totally fights to the death, there's no sane reason to turn a fist fight into a knife fight if you're more experienced. Getting close and headbutt them. Use the crown of your forehead and again, push through the target. This move is seldom anticipated and can break a nose quickly. My signature move is a hip check to throw them off and then slip around behind for the choke. Chokes are great for bigger opponents. Even giants are no good without air and blood to the brain. Talkers usually don't fight. It's the quiet ones you need to watch. Laugh and smile as much as possible. Nothing infuriates someone more than laughing and smiling during a fight. Furious people make stupid mistakes. Stay calm. I've heard that the fighter with the lower heart rate wins the fight more often than not. If you're going to start it, or escalate it, don't start with a soft punch or push. Start with a full punch or attack. If it's a really serious situation, go for the eyes. Keep an eye on your manner. The old dude over the road when I was little used to give us this kind of advice. Try and avoid a fair fight. You might lose a fair fight. Carry something. Use it without moderation if you actually need to. You'll probably never need to. He was ex-UK parachute regiment, I believe. 1. Always give your fists nicknames. These nicknames should sound like Irish boxers from the Prohibition era. For example, mine are Jimmy Olajetty and Ricky Ryan. Make your opponent aware of your fist's names at the earliest opportunity to ensure maximum intimidation. 2. Move around your opponent in an anti-clockwise direction. This direction will make you harder to target. It's science. 3. Kick them in the beanbag. Never be ashamed of this tactic. You're fighting on the streets and street rules apply. The beanbag is not off limits. This should see the enemy incapacitated and you're victorious. 4. Victory. Revel in your victory and take your pick of whichever lady in a 1-mile radius that you like the look of. They are now your property. Hit and keep on hitting until you know you've won and the fight is over. This isn't the movies. You don't hit then wait for them to retaliate. Avoid a fist fight and enter one only when all options fail. One thing that you can easily learn and will put you over any untrained fighter is getting into a proper fighting stance. There are many, depending on the fighting style, but you'll most likely want to get into a kickboxing stance, as any other one, untrained, would probably be useless to you. For kickboxing, it's arms up, chin tucked, like everyone has been saying, but you also want to put your strong side foot towards the back, facing away from you, while your weak side foot goes forward, pointing towards the opponent. About shoulder width. Most of your weight is going to be on the back foot. I've actually overheard higher ranked belts in my kickboxing class say that if they saw someone get into a proper fighting stance, they would completely rethink continuing with the fight. Also, when you move, never ever cross your feet. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Mike Tyson learned to take a punch. Avoid injury, not pain. Pain is irrelevant to the outcome of the fight. You can mentally condition yourself to just not give any fucks about pain. Stay relaxed. People tense up like they are lifting weights. It is called throwing a punch for a reason. Use your whole body. Most idiots will throw a right hook as their first punch. Step outside it. You are gonna hurt your hand using fists on bone. Save it for the body. Hit their windpipe and or balls with the palm of your hand. Avoid grappling if possible, but if you can, get them in a choke hold. Elbows. They are deadly. It's not hard to learn how to throw a good elbow. If you go by risk versus reward system, the reward is high. Circle to your opponent's dominant side kick from inside of knee to outside. A kick is lifting your knee up and driving your foot out. It is not like trying to kick a ball. Strike closed fist center mass just below rib cage. Deprive your opponent of oxygen. Strike open hand at nose, like you were giving someone 5. You will not break your hand this way. It will still do maximum damage to the soft nose, temporarily blinding your opponent. If your opponent cannot walk, he is not a threat. If he cannot breathe, he is not a threat. If he cannot see, he is not a threat. You can also simply open hand grab at the jaw with one or both hands. Push up and then drive forward with your legs. You can drive an opponent off balance, then strike at the exposed throat with your elbow. Open hand strikes avoid breaking your own hand and disabling your own ability to protect yourself. End a fight quickly before you fatigue. The longer it goes on, the more likely you are to run out of steam. Don't use your fist. The bones in your hand tend to break. Instead, try open palm strikes, hammer fists, or porcelain toilets to inflict damage. Dip and weave. Move your feet. Keep your center. In other words, remember to keep your body aligned with your core. On top of this, keep yourself balanced. Don't overextend yourself. A lot of the time, novice fighters will extend themselves, often imparting force into a blow they're about to take. There's nothing like getting knocked out because you threw yourself into an already vicious punch. Be aware of your surroundings. The last thing you want is getting hit in the back of the head when your focus is on the person in front of you. A lot of great tips for an actual fight, but the most important things I've learned since I started training is that looks can be deceiving. There is always someone better and stronger than you, and most importantly, these things are usually only found out after you wake up. TL. Doctor, walk away if at all possible. Body language says so much. Putting your fists up immediately signals to the opponent that this is now a fight. Try to rub your hands together near your face so that your hands are close to your head if he tries to punch. But they don't look threatening, yet most real life fights are full of haymakers, huge, wide swinging punches. Lift your shoulders up like you are shrugging. Put your chin down into your chest and cover the sides of your head with your open hands. This will dampen any punches until you can walk up to him and headbutt him in the nose. Just always remember that the goal is to stop the conflict ASAP. Use their momentum against them. If they rush you, step aside and send them flying in the direction they were already traveling. Also, for strikes, you are not really looking to stop them cold in their tracks, but focus on deflecting. This can send them off balance, which can mean all the difference in the world. Even if you are grossly outmatched, an unsure footing is the great equalizer. Don't limit yourself to punches only. In a brawl, there are few rules. Take your opponent out in any way that works. In my younger days, I was fond of drop kicks, the tackle punch barrage combo, and throwing people around. I like to use surprising speed and tactics that the opponent might not have been expecting. Breathe. If you have no experience, you can make yourself pass out without even being hit. Forceful, strong breaths, in through the nose. The power of a punch is not in the arms, it's in the legs and core. Also, its power is in speed, a hard strike, not a slow bludgeon. Make every blow you get hit by a glancing one. You'll barely feel it. Decide if this fight is survival or who's the boss fight. If it's survival, then go for the throat, eyes, groin and ears. If they try to grapple you, use knees and elbow to vicious effect. Do not go down. If you do, get back up ASAP, or they can stomp you to death. If it's who's the boss, then it's just you fighting some douche who's trying to put you in your place, vice versa. Nose is acceptable. Body shots are ideal. Punching a skull, especially near teeth, is not fun, and it'll probably go to sloppy grappling soon anyway. Once he's in pain enough, he'll stop, so don't do anything that you'll be arrested for assault for.